Merlot bashing has been so popular among wine lovers, wine specialists, sommeliers, even MWs. I mean, more politely, but yes. Yes, I think since the movie Sideways, where I'm not drinking this beep Merlot, people realize that maybe it's time to move to Pinot Noir. However, Merlot is probably one of the most popular cultivars around the world, especially among new drinkers, because it tends to have this soft roundness that sometimes people say, "Oh, I want a sweet red," when they order a glass of Merlot when they are new drinkers. But this is not a wine for new drinkers, it's a wine for all drinkers. We are tasting the DeTrafford Merlot 2016 from Stellenbosch. Make us dream, Cathy.
This colour is absolutely beautiful. It's lost the blue of youth and it's now taking on the brick tile character of middle age, but there's still some lovely dense blackness in the middle of the wine. The nose changes quite a bit. When I started nosing this, it had that immediate chocolate, which I know is usually an oak-derived aroma, not necessarily from the grape. But this has got beautiful pure plum fruit on it, which is what you want on a Merlot.
I mean, there's a long time I haven't been tasting purity of fresh plum like that on a wine.
It's really, really beautiful. It's lovely and it's plum. It's not prunelle, which is a specific smaller kind of plum thing, and it's definitely not prune. This is pure, good fruit.
Yes.
For me also there is a slight mintiness and leafiness to the wine, and leafiness can be interpreted in different ways. I mean, you get that real hedgerow, just clipped hedgerow, topiary leafiness I get on Cabernet Franc, whereas this is more for me showing now as a spearmint in terms of the leafy character. It's not detracting from the wine at all.
No, it's not, and I'm not much. I mean, I can feel the mintiness there, but I was almost on a green leaf, green tea.
Green tea leaf.
Green tea leaf,
yes,
yeah.
that also can apply, definitely. It's 5 years old now. Just gone 5 years old now. It's starting to get a little bit tertiary, but there's nothing overwhelming on the tertiary character, either on the nose or on the palate. And the palate is just so very, very pleasing. The tannins are nice and round and supple, just what you want from Merlot. The spices from the oak are beautifully integrated. And it's just showing you that how a pleasant, velvety drink
It is.
Merlot can be.
Now you understand why in Bordeaux Blend, Merlot is an ideal companion in order to balance a sometime too green or too rustic Cabernet Sauvignon. The velvetiness of, because we're not on silky, we're on velvety here. It's warm, it's luscious on the tongue. And yes, it's almost a textbook great Merlot in the sense that you have power, but you have roundness on the palate. Tannins are perfectly integrated. You got this clean, fresh prune on the plum, because prune is a dried one, but coming from my French, we got the other way around. So the fresh plum on the nose, and you find out on the palate, beautiful acidity.
I was just saying we haven't spoken about thinking that we haven't spoken about the acidity. The acidity is really well integrated into this wine, well thought through. It's present, but it definitely contributes to the whole smooth character of the wine rather than jarring you awake.
And what surprised me as well, one of the problems of Merlot is an early cultivar.
Correct.
So it tends to sometimes be ready in the middle of the heat wave, therefore giving a level of alcohol which is very high. And we see that not only in South Africa, we see that as well in Saint-Emilion in France, where now most of the great wines are over 15 alcohol. Here, we don't find any imbalance in the wine. The wine is fresh.
It's very fresh, it's very drinkable, but I think it'll last another 10 years.
I mean, this David Trafford Merlot, I had the chance not long ago to drink 11 years older than this one. I could not have been putting the age on the blind tasting, and it's a slow evolver. It showed that the acidity in the wine and the freshness of the wine is something really intrinsic with the wine. It's really part of it, and that will blossom beautifully. It starts giving some different layers and some complexity. Tertiary, yes, that you can feel the beginning of the tertiary,
Absolutely.
but that's just the beginning of what it shall become. 2016, Stellenbosch, wine of origin, DeTrafford. I'm drinking this fucking Merlot.